Now, today we're going to discuss about managing input output statements. So basically input and output indicates, right, where you have to read the values from the user. You have to read the values from the user and you have to print the results on the output screen, which we call it as a console. So the first topic we're going to start is managing input output statements. Managing, right, input and output statements. Okay. So when it comes to managing input output statements, okay, when it comes to managing input output, when it comes to managing input output statements, right? So we come across with certain things like classification, right? So here, okay, there are two types of classification, right? There are two types of classification we have. Okay, one is, okay, the first one is called as formatted, right, IO statements, and the second one is called as, right, unformatted IO statements, right? One is a formatted, another one is unformatted. So what is the meaning of formatted? Formatted means organized, right? Organized way of reading the input and organized way of printing the output. So that can be done using formatted. And in unformatted you can't organize, cannot organize. Okay, you cannot organize there. Okay, now if you look at the formatted, right, there are two categories. One is an input statement, right? Another one is output statement. One is an input statement, another one is output statement. Whereas input statements are used for reading data from the user. They are used for in reading data from the user. Okay, now this one is, right, used for, right, printing the data on the output screen. This is used in, right, printing the data. Okay, okay. Now in this formatted we have something called as scanf in the input side, and in the output side we take printf. So these are the two basic input and output statements which we use it in the formatted section. But whereas in unformatted, right, something called as get char you have, and you have put char on the output side. Okay, and there are there are two more are present. One is get s, right, get s, and the other one is put s. Okay, first one is get s, which we use it for reading, and put s is for printing. Now let us go in detail about these formatted and unformatted IO statements. Now before getting into detail, you need to learn something called as format specifiers, right? So format specifier. Okay, format specifier, what is the job of this? The job of format specifier is to specify the type of the data, the type of data that we read or we print, we read or print. right? These format specifier will like tell us, right, which type of data are we reading it or which type of data are we printing it. Okay, so are you clear with that? Now let us discuss about one by one format specifier, right? So the first format specifier is percentage %d. It is used for integer numbers. It is used for reading or printing integer numbers. The second one is percentage %c. It is used for character type of data. And the third one is percentage %f, which is used for, right, float type of data. And fourth one is percentage %d, right, which is used for, sorry, percentage %lf, which is used for double as well as, right, long float. It can be used for, right, double as well as long float, right? Now few more are there that we need to learn. Percentage %u, it is used for unsigned data. Any variable which is unsigned, that data, to display that unsigned data, or you can specifically tell that unsigned integer, we can use percentage %u. Then comes is percentage, right, x, which is used for displaying or reading hexadecimal numbers, which is used for hexadecimal number system. Okay, and there is percentage %o, which is used for octal, which is used for octal, right, octal number system. Then you have something called as percentage %i. It can be used for hexadecimal. Okay, it can be used for decimal, or it can be used for octal. So it is a common format specifier. It can be used for hexadecimal, decimal, and octal. Decimal is nothing but integer. So these are the basic format specifiers that you should be aware about. So these are the basic format specifiers that everybody must be aware about. Okay, now apart from these there are few more. For example, percentage %e, it is used for exponential. It is used for exponential. And percentage %p, it is used for address, right? But percentage %p is used for address. So these are the basic format specifiers which everybody must be aware about if you want to write printf and scanf statements in the C language. Are we clear on this part? Gavin, it's not like a data type. It is just tells you which type of data you are retrieving or you are storing in the memory. It tells compiler the type of data we are dealing with. Okay, is everybody clear on this? Okay, now moving on to, right, how to make use of printf and scanf statements. So the next one is, let's start with scanf. Okay, scanf. So basically it is, right, it is a input built-in function, built-in function used to read data, to read data data from the user. Okay, so let us see what is the syntax of this. Okay, basically it is used for reading the data from the user. So the basic syntax of scanf is scanf double quote format specifier, format specifier double quote ampersand followed by variable name. This is a basic syntax of scanf. Now this and is called as address operator. Address operator. So what is the job of address operator? Right? It will, right? It fetches address of a memory. Fetches address of memory. It fetches address of memory. Okay, that is the job of this, right, address operator. And for example, right, if you take one int x variable, if you declare a variable, there is a memory allocated for x, right? Now you will have the address in this place for every memory. This is the place where we write it. So if you write ampersand x, now let us assume address of, see, x contains, right, 20. Okay, x contains 20. Now let us assume the address of x as 1000. So basically this is an address, just like your house address, right? It is the address of the particular memory. This is the address of a particular memory. So if you write ampersand x, it will give us 1000. It will give us 1000, the address of that particular memory. Okay, so this is the use of ampersand, right? Okay, now remember that there are two parts in the for loop. One is a format specifier, which we write it in a double quote, right? And another one is the list of variables, list of the address of variables. These are the two parts we have in the scanf. Now, right, let's take an example. Let us take an example here, right? Read one integer, one character, one float value from user. Okay, from user. Okay, so for that, what we need to do is we need to declare multiple variables here. Int main, inside this, okay, inside this, right, you will have something called as int a, okay, character b, and float c. Like this we need to declare three variables. Okay, after that, right, we can write one by one statement here. Scanf double quote, I want to read the integer value. So for that, I will write, right, percentage d in a double quote. So percentage d is meant for integer. So I'll write percentage d. I am reading only one value. Now where we have to store it? We have to store it in a variable a. So I need to write ampersand a. Correct? Now second value which I want to read is character. Okay, so scanf double quote percentage c double quote comma ampersand b. So whatever value you enter, integer value, it will be stored into variable a, and the value what you enter in b, right, second scanf, it will be stored into b. And then there will be a third statement, that is scanf, right, double quote percentage f double quote comma ampersand c. So the third value what you enter will be stored in a variable called as c. The third value, right, it will be stored into a variable called as, right, c. For right, so this is the basic example to read integer, character, and float. Now let's assume I gave the input as 10. So 10 is stored here. If I give the character as an input capital A, it will be stored into B. And if I give the input as 3.14, it will be stored into variable C. This is how the values are stored. Now, imagine I have written three different statements to read multiple values. Now, if you want to do it in a better way, you can do it in only one statement only. Only in one scanf we can read it. Okay, you can read it only in a one statement, right? Or we can write it as int main, declare the three variables int a semicolon, character b semicolon, or character, sorry, third one is float c semicolon. Now I want to read all the three values, right, in only one scanf. So percentage d, percentage c, percentage f. Now what we will do is, first value is integer where we have to store it in ampersand a, comma, right, right. Now second value, the character which I have to give, it needs to be stored in a variable b, and the third value which I have to give it as float, it will be stored in a variable called as c, right. So this is how, right, you need to, right, read the values, multiple values in a scanf, single scanf. Now one more thing you need to understand is, right, there should not be any, should not be any, should not be any special characters, special characters in format specifier, in format specifier. Okay, see, let us take an example, right, let us take an example and see how they are getting stored. Okay, gdb online compiler. Okay, now, now, okay, so first I'll declare int a, then I'll declare character b, then I'll declare float c. Okay, now if you want to write a scanf statement, scanf double quote percentage d, right, double quote percentage d, right, next is percentage c, next is percentage f. Now double quote comma ampersand a comma ampersand b comma ampersand c. This is how we read the values from the user, right. Now some people will have that habit, sir, all these format specifiers are looking very clumsy, can I put a comma here? No, you can't put a comma. Sir, can we put a space there? No, you can't put a space, right. There are, apart from format specifiers, apart from format specifier, you cannot write anything in scanf, right. In this place you need to write only the format specifiers, that's it, nothing more than that. This is how we read the values from the user, right, in only one scanf statement. Are you clear on this part, or do you guys have any doubts? What about everybody others? Are you clear on that? How to write a scanf? What is the use of reading? Now I'll Gavin, I'll come to that point. Okay, I will come to that point. in just 2 minutes. Okay, I'll take one example also. Now, one of your friend is having a doubt, right? He is asking us, okay, so what is the point of, right? What is the point of, right, storing or reading the values from the user? Now, let us write one basic program here. I will write a comment here. I will write a comment here. Comment means write a program to add two numbers, right? Very basic example I'm taking a very basic example. Now, right, I want to add two integer numbers. So first of all, if you want to add two numbers, don't you think we should take two numbers from the user? If I tell you to add two numbers, right, first you will ask, sir, give us two numbers, correct? So I need two variables. Variable means what? Memory. I need two variables, int a comma b, and I need one variable to store the result. Okay, now I will write scanf and read two values from the user, ampersand a comma ampersand, okay, ampersand b. So this is the place where we are getting or taking the values from the user. Then what we will do? We will write result is equal to a plus b, right? So only if I take the values from the user, right? Only if I take the values from the user, then I can add the values and store it in another memory called as result. Once we get the result, you print that result, you print the result, correct? Now this is how, now you observe here, I need to give two values. I gave two values. Is it giving me 30? Now why we need to take the values from the user? For example, you take a calculator here. I want to add 50 and 100. So don't you think first I have to give 50? User is giving this number, right? Plus I have to give another number 100. So now don't you think we need to take the values from the user and perform the task which we have to do, right? So that's a reason reading the values from the user is important. Are you clear on this, Galvin? Sorry, Gavin. Okay. Now what we will do is, okay, now we will go for, right, another printf statement. Sorry, another managing input output statement, that is printf. Okay. Now, so next one is, second one is printf. So what is the job of this function, right? This is a built-in function, built-in function which is used, which is used to print, to print data on the console. What is the meaning of console here? It is called as output screen. The black screen what you see, right? Output screen, or we call it in technical term, in programming language we call it as console, right? Now this is the purpose of printf. It is used for printing the data which is present in a memory to the output screen. Why do we print the result or the data on the output screen? So that human beings or the user can see the data what is present inside that memory. So what is the syntax of, right, what is the syntax of writing printf? So here, right, printf is a function name followed by double quote format specifier, right, format specifier double quote comma variable name. This is a very syntax. Okay, this is a very basic syntax to write the printf, right, statement, right. So in this printf statement we don't require ampersand. So you will understand it why it is required during functions topic. Why we need ampersand, why we don't need ampersand, you will understand it during functions topic. As of now, in scanf we write ampersand and in printf we don't write it. Okay. Now let us take an example. Okay. Okay. Print print two values, right? So let us write one simple example here. Int main opening bracket, right? Opening bracket. Now int a is equal to 10 comma b is equal to 20, right. So I have already stored the values directly into the variable. I am not taking the values from the user. We can do that also. There is no restriction. Now comes is the interesting part. Now, how do you want to print the output? So this printf, you can use it to organize the data on the output screen, right? We can use printf, right, to print the data in any fashion we want. For example, the first one, I want the output like this 10 and 20. This must be my output. This must be my output, first one. So if I want the output like that, what I will do is I'll write printf double quote percentage d double quote comma a comma b. The first value it has to print is 10. So I am writing the first variable as a. So for the second percentage d, the value it has to print is 20. So I'm writing the second variable as b, right? Now somebody will come and ask, sir, I want to print the output like this 10 and 20. I want the output like this, right? So if you want the output like this, you can customize your printf the way you want. Printf, okay, double quote. So first what it has to display, it has to display the number. So percentage d, in this place we will display the number, so we will write percentage d. And next after that I need this text space and space. I need this text after integer value. Then I need one more number, percentage d, right? I want the output like this. Okay. So first number, then space and space, then another number. So like that only I will write it. Now, which number we have to print it in first percentage d place? We have to print the variable a, because I have to print a 10 there. Then I have to print b in the second percentage d. So automatically your output will be printed like this. This will print like this. Now some people will come and tell me, right? So they will come and ask me, sir, I want to print the output like this 10 and 20, one below the other. You can do that also. Now printf, right, double quote percentage d, I need to print the first number. After printing the first number, don't you think I have to go to the next line to print the second number? So to go to the next line, I will put slash n. Slash 1 will take the cursor to the next line. It will take cursor to the next line. And then I have to print one more number, percentage d. So for the first percentage d, what value it has to print? it has to print the variable A. For the second percentage D, it has to print the variable B. Are you clear on that? This is how we use printf statement. So I hope everybody is clear on, right, how to use scanf. Yes, Renidhi. We use a scanf to store values into the memory, and we use printf to take the values from the memory to print it on the output screen. Spacing is allowed. Spacing is allowed. You see, I'm giving a space here. I'm giving a space here. You can see it. I'm giving a space here in printf. Only in scanf space is not allowed or special characters are allowed. Now let us take one example here. You can see here. So what are we doing actually here? Okay, what are we doing actually here? Let me show you here. Okay, let me take this. Okay, so I'll take a screenshot and I'll explain. So first of all, there are three memories are created. First of all, three memories are created. First one is what? A. Second one is B, right? And the third one is result. Okay. So first, after that, what I'm doing, I'm executing the scanf. So when scanf is executed, assume, assume I will give the values as 20 and 30. So 20 will be stored into variable A, 30 will be stored into variable B. After that, what is the next line? Result. So first I need to add A and B values, 20 plus 30, right? And where I have to store it? I have to store it in a result. I have to store it in a result. So this 50 will be stored in a result. Now, after performing this operation, how will I get to know the confirmation the result is 50 only? So what we will do is we will print it on the console. We will print it on the console. So on the output screen, we will print the value which is present in result, which is 50. Are you understanding? So I hope everybody is clear on this part. Why we need to read, why we need to print. Because I need a confirmation whatever the task I performed and stored the result, are they correct or not? I need to verify it. Right? Gavin, are you clear about spacing in printf? If you want, you can like say result is equal to percentage d, result of percentage d. Sorry, you can write a message here, addition of percentage d and percentage d is equal to percentage d. Now this english statement, addition of first value is a, second value is b, and then the result. So what we can do here, a comma b comma a result. So it will print the output in a sentence format. See, addition of 10 and 20 is 30, right? So are you clear on this part? I'll keep this small example here, okay, in the writing pad. Okay, I'll just keep this example here on the writing pad. Okay, which will help you to understand better. Okay, now, so once we clear with this printf and scanf, let's go with a second category, that is called as unformatted. Unformatted. Can I go for the unformatted section? If you are clear with both, I think all float example. I'll take no, enter button is Vaishnavi, right? Enter button itself is slash n. In a symbol, we write it as slash n. Enter key is nothing but slash n. On the keyboard, it is a enter key, but in the programming language, it is slash n. Are you understanding? Right? On the hardware, on the button, it is enter key, but in the programming language, it will be slash n. Right? Okay. Now, okay, don't worry. I'll teach you about now. Some of students are having a doubts here. For example, sir, my float x is equal to 2.74325. Okay, and 6 4. Chalo, this is the number. I want output as only 2.74. Okay, so if you want to print this x value with only two precision, right? If you want to print this float value with only two precision, now how you can write the printf here? Printf double quote percentage. How many precisions you want? How many digits you want after a decimal point? That you have to write here. Dot 2. After decimal point, you need to, if you want to have two digits, you can write it as dot 2 and then write f. Okay, and then write f double quote comma, write x. So this will print the output like this. Now if you want, right, the four digits, if you want the four digits, now what you have to do is print f double quote percentage dot 4f, right, and x. This will print the output as 2.7432. This will be the output. Are you clear on this float part? Sanjana, are you clear about it? Are we good to go? Okay, very nice. Now, so let us go with the unformatted. Let us go with second category, that is unformatted. Unformatted means we cannot organize the data. We cannot organize the data on the output screen like a printf how it is doing or how scanf is reading, right? Basically, this function, these function, right, reads data from the buffer memory of keyboard. Buffer memory memory of keyboard, or whatever the user enters. Okay, or user, you can tell it. So what is the meaning of buffer memory? Let me show you. Remember this is gonna be a good help in the string programs. Now let's say this is a keyboard. Okay, it's a hardware. This is our keyboard. Okay, every input output device will have a small buffer memory. Okay, will have small buffer memory. Let's say there are some keys present here, right? A 0 plus. Now whenever user press the key, this key will go and sit in the buffer memory, will go and sit in the buffer memory, and then from here it is read by unformatted, or read by input statements. It is read by input statements. Okay, similarly, right, whenever you write, this is the memory. Okay, this is a memory. Okay, there is a variable called as x which contains 10. I want to print this 10 on the output screen. So this is my output screen. Even the output device contains a buffer memory. Okay, it contains a buffer memory. So this x value will be first stored into, right, this x value will be stored into buffer memory. From buffer memory it comes on the output screen. This is how the input and output devices work, right? All these scanf and printf will work. But if you are getting confused, don't worry about these things. Okay, don't to worry too much about these things. Just remember that using unformatted statement we cannot organize the data. We cannot organize it any way we want, right? So let's start with the first one, get char. So this function this function, okay, this function is used, right, this function is used to read single character single character from the user. Okay, now how to use this syntax? Okay, here variable name is equal to get char of this function. This is how we write it. If we take an example here, I want to read a single character from the user. I want to read a single character from the user. Int main opening bracket character ch. This is a variable name. Now if I want to read a single character from the user, I'll write ch is equal to get char function. I'll call the get char function. Now from the keyboard, if you press this character called as capital A, this capital A will be stored into a memory called as ch, right? It will be stored into a memory called as ch, right? Or if you don't want to use a get char, or what you can do is int main, okay, int main opening bracket character ch, right? You can use getChar function to read single character, or you can use a scanf also. In scanf, for the character, which is the format specifier, we use percentage %c and ampersand ch, right? This will also read a character and store it in, right, okay, ch. Let's say this time I have entered b, right? So this way you can make use of these functions to read single character, from the user. Are you clear about this? Very basic information. Difference between getchar and scanf using. See, as I've told you that, getchar, this getchar is, right, reads data from buffer. Whatever data you give, it will take that. If you, instead of a, if you give 10 as an input, it will take 10, right, as a ASCII value and store it, right? You give 2.5, it will take that data and store some random number inside this, right? So there is no type conversion here. There is no type conversion here. No type conversion. No type conversion, right? There is no type conversion here, okay? But whereas in this one, since it has a format specifier, if I give the input as 65, if I give the input as a 65 to scanf, it will store capital A in CH. Why? Because, right, 65 is a ASCII value of capital A. So if you give 65, this 65 is converted to character format. Why it converts or how it converts? Because of percentage C. It will convert 65 into, right, character format, and then it will store it in a ch. Are you able to understand now? Is it clear for all? Srinidhi? Okay. Now the last two are remaining here. The last two are remaining. I think we, sorry, there is one more, b, put char. Now just like get char, right, it is used for, this function is used for, this function is used for printing single character on the output screen. Printing single character on output screen. Okay. So what is the syntax of this one? Syntax is very simple. You can write put char, and inside that, inside a bracket, you write variable name. Okay, this is a syntax. Now if you want to take an example here, right, int main opening bracket ch character ch is equal to capital, right, capital V. Okay, so if I take this character, I want to print it on the output screen. So how will I do that? Put char, right, of ch. So this will print the output as V. This will print the output as V on the output screen. Simple, right? Similarly, or you can use, or you can use, right, int main opening bracket character ch is equal to V. Okay, you can use printf here. You can use printf here to print single character also. Percentage C double quote comma ch. One second, I'm just checking something. Okay, it's correct. Okay, so these are the two ways of printing single character on the output screen, right? This will again print the output as V, right? So one is a buffered, another one is a unformatted, another one is formatted. Are you clear about get char and put char, both the statements? Now we will go with get s and put s. So I'm gonna go ahead with get s and put s. If you are clear on these, I'll give you information on get s and put s. Okay. Now, now what we will do is, let's go for the third one. Get yes. Get yes. So this function is used to read a string. It is used to read a string, right, right, from user, from user. For example, sorry, let's take the syntax first. Syntax, right? Okay, get as followed by variable name. Okay, now there is certain thing that you need to understand here. Instead of variable name, we will give something called as address. Generally we call it as address or base address. Okay, For example, right? For example, right? Int main, you will get in detail about these things during strings topic. Need not worry too much. Just for an introduction part, I'm doing it. So let's take a character array. Character S of 100. Okay. So this is called as array. This is called as array. I'll write the name of the array different one. Okay. str of 100. Okay. Now if I want to read a string using getS, I will use getS of str. So basically str is called as base address, right? It is nothing but a base address or starting address. We will discuss in detail about this in the right, okay, in the string topic. Now this reads string with multiple words. Multiple words. I'll just take some 2 minutes extra today. Okay. Or you can use or you can use similarly scanf. I'll just write a scanf statement here. Just instead of this, you can use this scanf double quote percentage s double quote comma str. Again, this is also base address. You don't have to put ampersand in this place. Ampersand is not required when you are reading string. Not required. You will understand in detail during string topic. Okay, as of now this much you remember. Instead of getS you can use scanf. Okay, I'll take one example to cover all of them. Okay, now last one is puts. This function is used to print string on console, or we call it as output screen. So what is the syntax of this? Very simple, right? Syntax, right? Put s of address. You need to provide the starting address or base address from where it has to print. If you take an example, okay, int main, okay, opening bracket, character str of 100, okay, is equal to, I'll put a message called as behave like compiler. Okay, now if I want to print this string, so what I will do, I'll simply write put s of str. This will print the output as behave like compiler. Now alternately you can use a scanf also to print, right? I'll write down the scanf statement here. Percentage s double quote comma str. This will also print the string present inside str. Okay, I'll take one example to make you guys understand and have a more clarity on this one. Can we remember this line? I had written something here. This line, getS function reads a string with multiple words. Okay, now scanf reads string with only one word. Okay, I'll take an example, right? I'll just take 2 minutes extra. Okay, let us take an example here. Okay, okay, so here character ch, right? Now right? Let us read a character from getchar, right? Getchar function I have executed. This will read the value and give it to me. I will store it in ch, then use putchar and print that character here on the output screen. Now if I execute this code, you can see here, right? If I give capital E, it will print capital E only. See, you can see that there are two E's are present. Now, instead of this get char, you can use scanf percentage C double quote comma ch, sorry, ampersand, right, ch. Okay, you can use this and print it, right? I'll give capital R. It's printing capital R. Now instead of put char, you can use printf percentage C double quote comma ch. You can use this also. Now I will give the character as V. It is printing V. If you want to read it using getchar, use getchar function to read it. Using getchar we will read a value, and using printf you can print the value. It's all customized way. You can do it any way you want. This is about getchar and putchar. Okay. Now what we will do is we will have a look at strings. Okay, we will have a look at strings. Character str of 100. Okay. Now let us use getS function to read a string. So I need to give the input as getS function. Using getS function, I need to read the string from the user. Now I will print it using puts of str. Okay, I'll execute this now. Don't worry about warning. We will discuss it later. Behave like compiler. If I execute it, it is printing the string as it is. Okay. Now I've told you it can read a string with multiple words. Now what I will do is behave space like space compiler. So how many words I'm giving as a string? 3 words. So it'll print, it'll accept all the 3 words. Now suppose if instead of getS, if I use scanf percentage s double quote comma str. Now this function, I have written a statement here. It will read a string with only one word. It cannot read more than one word. Now let's see. I will give the input as behave like compiler. Okay, behave like compiler. If I press enter key, see, it is printing only behave, because scanf will read only one word. Even if you are giving so many words, it will read only one word. After that we are giving a space, it will stop reading the string. Now is everybody clear on this part? Puts is reading, scanf is for reading. Then in the example, how we can write scanf in place? Buddy Srinidhi, right? Putters is to print. Yes, yes, yes. See, I'll show you that diagram. Putters is for printing. Come here. I'll show you in the beginning only. I've shown you the table there. Come. We will look at that table first. See here. Scanf, scanf. See here. Scanf, getchar, and getS. These are for reading. Okay. And these are for printing, right? So printf and scanf can be used to read any data and to print any data. But getchar and putchar are used for only reading and printing of single character. Okay. And getS and puts are used for reading or printing string. It is used for reading or printing strings, and these two are used for reading right? Only single character, one character, right? And printf and scanf are used for any data. Are you clear now? Srinidhi, are you clear now? Sanjana, are you clear now?